Welcome back, my DIY nomads. I hope all of you are doing really well. Today I was going to cover another refreshed list, a refreshed video of essential things that I think you should take with you in a camper van or on a camper van trip. So without further ado, let's get crack-a-lacking and I will delve into this. So firstly, let's start with my most useful thing, and that is a smartphone. My smartphone has been by far the biggest workhorse in a camper van journey or anything like that. It does everything. It's ridiculous what they now pack into these little bastards. These things are fantastic. They have sat-nav on, they're obviously a phone, you can contact people, it's a torch, it's got a compass in it, it does everything. You can even get like little apps so you can do be like a level. It's got a really good camera on them these days. Having one will take so much strain off your journey because you don't have to buy any extra gadgetry. It's just in this tiny weeny little box, and as long as you get a really good data plan with your local network provider, then you're going to be absolutely sorted. I've got plenty of data for this, especially in the UK, and quite a lot when I go abroad. Just make sure you check all of the local sort of zones, the world zones, so that you don't get caught out going into a certain area and getting overcharged. They will charge you through the teeth for any data you use. Obviously, another massive advantage of having a smartphone is that you have access to thousands and thousands of apps, and there is a lot of camping ones that help you out. I've got this particular one called Wiki Camps. I just heard about it online and I checked it out, and it's a great little app. It has a map of loads of different campsites in your local area. It tells you about loads of useful stuff. You can do filters. So if I search for my local area here, I can find loads of different campsites, and it tells me what's in the campsite. It tells me just loads of little bits of information where information centres are, and it's just really useful thing to have on you. There's a really good one if you live in or you're staying in New Zealand called CAMPER, and the great thing about most of these apps is they also work offline. So if you suddenly lose a bit of signal, you can still sort of get most of the information and everything that you need from the app itself, which is so useful. One thing I've come to learn, which is very important, and actually thank you to a subscriber for mentioning this, I always keep them in the van with me now, because they can cripple you if you don't have them, and that is fuses, blade fuses, and all the types of fuses that you're going to need for your van. The different amperages, the different sizes. They're not expensive. There's no point not having them in the van, because if a fuse goes and you lose the ability to use your lights or your windscreen wipers, you've basically crippled your van for something that is this tiny and very cheap. So have these on you in the van at all times. Next up would be basic tools and or a Leatherman. I never go anywhere without my Leatherman now. The amount of times I've been caught out and had this on me is saved my bacon countless times. I absolutely love these multi-tools. I know a lot of vans will come with a tyre changing kit, so that covers sort of that aspect. But just having all these extra tools on you will be very useful. But if you don't want to have the extra tools, at least have some sort of multi-tool, a Leatherman, something like that. The next thing that I think you should keep with you in the van at all times is cash and change. Actual hard cash, not just card, but on top of Revolut card. Actual cash is such a lifesaver. Not every car park, most car parks I've come across don't accept cards, so having change and cash for these scenarios, especially change, is vital. I've even come across some tolls that don't seem to accept my cards or don't accept cards, and so yeah, I've had to use cash, and if I didn't have any cash with me, I would have been buggered. So make sure you take a good amount of money with you, know how to budget for your area. But if you live somewhere where you're crossing lots of borders and the money changes a lot, just make sure you do the research before you do the trip, because that could catch you out. Something a bit survivally, but I think that you should have in your van, is just a form of water treatment, whether it's just water cleansing tablets. I keep a life straw with me in the van, but I might even add some water treatment tablets. It's a bit extreme, I know, but if you're doing some proper wild camping and you're not always going to be staying in cities or towns or near towns or even people, it's just something to have with you. I mean, like, if everything went bad, you were broken down in the middle of nowhere, it was going to take bloody ages for someone to get to you. You never know. It's not that hard, and even the tablets, they're not going to take up any space at all, so just keep those with you in the van. To further on to that, I would also take with me a lighter or some way to easily get fire. Yet again, just a little bit of basic survival, sort of just a lighter having on you could make the difference in certain situations. Next up, and something I've explained before, is my windscreen cover. I absolutely swear by them. I do want to try and find a viable interior windscreen cover, because it is annoying having to get outside of the van to put the cover on, especially when it's raining, and like really raining and really windy, and which I've done before, and it's not pleasant because you get in soaking wet. But yeah, having to put it on the interior would be way nicer, because you can just arrive at your location, put it up, and then take it down without having to leave the comfort of your van if the weather outside is really bad. And also something that I've come to notice having them over the time that I've had them is that sometimes you may park under a tree and a bird will crap all over them, and then you've got a horrible bird crap ridden cover, and if it's still wet, then you either have to lay it out carefully inside of the van or wait for the bird crap to dry or clean it off. And it's just something more unpleasant than just having your windscreen cover on the inside. So I want to try and find a viable one that is just as good as my exterior one, because those exterior ones are insane. One thing I always have in the van as well is cooking gear, sort of like pots and pans. Even if it's your basic camp gear you can pick up from any camp store, you're going to end up cooking food at one point. And the reason I like the camp gear is because it's suited to so many different situations. They're just easily cheap. You can crack them on any sort of style of cooker and you're good to go. The next thing on my list is something that I do need to invest in myself that I haven't got yet, but I do need, and that is traction mats, because traction mats can help you in so many different situations, whether it's icy, sandy, just slippy, or if you're bogged down in like sort of a field. If you can get some traction mats and keep them with you, it's going to save you if you get stuck in one of these areas, and it's going to stop you needing to call out to get rescued or get one of your mates to try and pull you out. I also do want to look at sort of going camping more away from towns and cities and stuff like that. And I feel like if I just had these on me, I would feel a lot safer in my mind, because if I got stuck, I know that I could get myself out. Now, I have actually already done a video about things that I would always keep in my van at all times, and you can check that video out here. I definitely recommend checking that out. Right, I'm going to leave it there. And if you guys have any further points you want to add or anything that I've messed up on, please leave a comment below. Please leave a like. And if you haven't already, you need to subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be trying to release more and more videos over the year. And as my subscribers are picking up, I want to start doing more giveaways. I want to start releasing merch. I'm so excited for where the channel is going to go over the next few months. So join along for the ride. So I'll catch all of you DIY nomads next time.